Ubisoft is that core of the team. Every team has that sort of member that's really, pivotal to making it function. And for USYD, it's got to be Ubisoft. As we actually get into pick and bans here, some interesting picks and bans. Sadly, we see that Senna banned away straight away. We're not going to see a continuation of the 80% win rate Senna. So
I think you're the only person who's thinking that's a sad thing right now. I would imagine a lot of people are probably rejoicing to see that one taken off the board. But Ezreal Yuumi are still available, and New South Wales, they're going to prioritize the Ezreal first. I think it kind of puts Sydney in a situation where forward probably doesn't want to play Yuumi without that strong AD carry, so there's a good chance that they might have that fall back into their laps. What I find interesting as well, actually, is the University of Sydney banning away that Taric. Now, I mentioned before, Vegan Bandit is an Enchanter support player. The one non-Enchantress support that this guy has played has been that Taric. So it looks like USYD is actually going to try and force that Enchantress support on the University of New South Wales side and maybe actually draft an aggressive bottom lane themselves. You already have that Misfortune, the hotbox combo with the Jarvan. We actually might be seeing some bot-centered play from this Sydney side.
Yeah, definitely. I think the second you see that Ezreal first picked, you're pretty much forcing USYD's hand to either say, hey, we're going to pick that hotbox combo and get away, because you don't want to pick that Yuumi without the safety, but we may be getting a Janna. Yes, we do. Vegan Band, I believe, played Janna in the first couple of weeks and was a bit of a, opened our eyes a little bit, because I said myself that I wasn't a big fan of the Janna, and he really showed me wrong.
Yeah, I do remember that. Throwback to week number 1 when Vegan Bandit locked that in and we were speculating, oh, well, maybe it's a top Janna, maybe... Because that's back when, top Janna was still semi-relevant, and then it was like, oh no, it went bot lane, and Vegan Bandit just took that game over with the Janna pick. It was a super big surprise, but it does mean it's a relatively safe lane. Granted, you also have that fair bit of poke, so the support for the Sydney side is also going to be super important. I still think they're going to go for something aggressive at the end of the day. However, mid laners possibly locked in right now, as we do see the Syndra picked up by the University of New South Wales, one of the strongest, if not the strongest, control mage in the game. And Zoot is going to lock in that Echo. I have to imagine that will be run by him in the mid lane as well. Zoot's had some pretty big performances, although last week it was kind of that Echo used against the USYD side that almost brought them that first loss.
Yeah, it almost brought them that first loss, and I really like the Echo pick here because, in reality, it can be flexed in 3 lanes currently. Yes, maybe not as well as, maybe just pure mid, but it can be played top, middle, and jungle.
I still kind of feel like it's probably going to be a mid lane pick. I mean, it's not going to be jungle because we have the Jarvan, so we don't need to worry too much about that. I'm liking the Rengar ban as well right now coming from the Sydney side. Rengar has been one of those junglers who has been rising in popularity, especially if a team is able to play around it and get that Rengar accelerated. That does have me a little bit concerned, though, because Ubisoft, 2 jungle bans, showing a lot of respect back to Mincam, who, again, has been a strong jungler in his own right. He's kind of been one of the big 3 junglers who sometimes will look to get early invades and really try to suffocate the other jungler out. Getting rid of the Hecarim and the Rengar, those are 2 jungles that usually a team will want to play around. And I think USYD is saying, no. You're not going to be playing around mid-cam this game. You're not going to be playing around bot lane this game. We want you to focus on your top lane because we think, on a player-wise, that's probably the best matchup for us.
Yeah, I think they're fully aware that their top lane is, substantially better in a sense and more consistent. As we have not seen Zoranis lose a lane. And, I don't think we're going to see him lose one anytime soon. So I like the pickup of the Bard as well. Obviously, Bard, with the combo that they're going for, Bard can be very, very disgusting in, stalling out dragons, stalling out barons. Even tower dives with their team comp could be really, really rough. As we have a Kayn picked up for Mincam.
Yeah, so New South Wales, they're still going to be opting for a very jungle-centric game as well. Similarly with Sydney, I mean, you see that Bard, you see that shutdown potential. I see the roaming potential coming out of forward as well. As mentioned before, both these teams do like their junglers. They like to play around them, and having that Bard being able to run around the map and really work with the cataclysm of J4, that's actually kind of filthy right there. So I expect to see a usual for Sydney, which is a lot of invades, a lot of jungle pressure. Kayn has that escapability as well, so it's going to be a bit trickier to lock down. And Ozo, well, you know what he's saying? I don't really care that people expect me to lose my lane. I'm taking the Grand Duelist. Throw at me who you want. And Xarnos actually opting for the weaker lane, going for the Poppy right now. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of roams, a lot of mid focus actually from the Sydney side as opposed to the top lane focus. And for New South Wales, well, it's evasion and counter attacking and hoping our top laner can give us a big lead.
Yeah, if Ozo can get ahead on that Fiora, it's going to be bad news for USYD, because obviously Fiora being the Grand Duelist can pretty much remove Shen, Ubisoft, Zoot, any one of them off the map. I do like the Poppy pick, however, seeing as they have a couple of champions with some dashes, and shutting that down as soon as possible is pretty nice for that team card. I do think I would have personally opted for something more like a Rumble in the top lane. Maybe it's not as good in the long run as the Poppy, but I think that if circumstantial, if it happens, that could be a much better pick. But
well, the reason why I kind of like the Poppy as well is I think it's a lot safer than the Rumble in this instance, and the goal for Xarnos, I feel, is just going to be let's survive the storm. Let's handle this early game aggression. And the crazy thing about Xarnos is we've seen him pick losing matchups before or weak topside matchups before and then win them. So if Poppy can shut down this Fiora, I feel that's really going to be a devastating blow for this New South Wales side, as they're going to be quite reliant, I feel, on these players in this instance. So I'm hoping for New South Wales, that they are able to play to the strong side of this map, hopefully get Ozo rolling early, and maybe they will be that first team to keep Xarnos down. But with the constant invade threat and pressure coming from Ubisoft, coming from those roams out of forward, it's definitely going to be a challenge to not completely lose control of the bot half of the map at the same time.
Yeah, they really need to try and keep that bot side safe, and even at least just going even, because if they let that spiral out of control, it can be pretty bad for them in the long run. They can let that, either side really, if that Ezreal gets ahead, if that Misfortune gets ahead, if any one of those lanes can get way too far ahead, I don't care if you're playing a Fiora or a Poppy, if you're getting deleted in 2 shots, there's not much you're going to be able to do against that. So I think that's going to be very important to see how the junglers handle the weak lane versus strong lane, paradigms, and whether or not we are going to see the, Xarnos Ubisoft show in the top lane, or if they're going to, leave him to sort of stall out the top lane, try and, do what he does best, freeze the lane in a bad position for Ozo, and just try choke him out that way.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, again, we are going to be seeing that sort of top side, bot side sort of power dynamic. And the reason why I do like what University of New South Wales is putting together is just because of how evasive and how tricky it is actually going to be to lock down that bot lane for the University of New South Wales. Ezreal Janna is so elusive. We already know Vegan Bandit is connoisseur on the Janna as well. And if that mixed with the Arcane Shift means locking that down and accelerating that bot lane is going to be very, very tricky. That said, obviously if any individual player gets ahead in this game, they can completely take it over, and then we'd see that dynamic shift. I just feel it's going to be hard really for either team to sort of make those proactive steps and get ahead. The X factor in this draft, and the one person who we haven't spoken about too much yet actually, is the mid laner from USYD, and that is Zoot on this Echo. If Echo is able to shove in the Syndra and start roaming, that's going to make locking down the bot lane so much easier for the University of Sydney, and I think that's going to be critical for them. But he is up against the best control mage in the game. Nice joke, Syndra, and that's going to be a real stifling move for them. So again, Syndra has to be careful, because you feel all right, if you're Sydney, they're going to want to unlock that mid lane, get the Echo roaming bot. So we might be seeing early level 2, level 3 ganks actually in the mid lane coming from Ubisoft. And then it comes back to, the University of New South Wales, right? Knowing that they're going to do that. Do we try to set up our counter gank with Kayn? Well, Kayn's weak early. I don't know. Kayn Syndra level 3, is that worth it? It's going to be very interesting, because then if it's not worth it, well, then they're conceding that early pressure in the mid lane. I don't know. I love chess match games like this. You can tell I'm just pumped.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's going to be an important consideration for both teams to, take into account, because you can't let that Echo shove in and then just roam freely, because effectively then you have potential, impact everywhere on the map. The jungle could be one side and the mid laner could be another side, so you're nowhere safe.
No.
I think that you have to, acknowledge the threat in that mid lane of, obviously Syndra doesn't have very good escape at all. She has the E and she has the flash, but if there can be a very good, parallel convergence or a very good predictive E, flag and drag from Ubisoft, that could spell disaster in that mid lane and put Syndra behind very quickly, which would not be a good start for that team.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree. Syndra's going to have to play a very, very smart game, and that's sort of the whole thing with Nice Joke and the rest of the University of New South Wales in this game, because you can understand what the University of Sydney is trying to do in this one. And I wish I could say, there's some sort of big brain counter to it, but it simply is, understanding where they're likely going to attack, when they're going to attack, use some instinct, use some wards, and outplay them. They're going to have to rely on their individual outplay ability, I feel like, at the starting of this game in order to keep themselves in it and not let USYD spiral this out of control. Like, Nice Joke should be aware, okay, J4 is probably going to be looking to hit me early. Play around that. Play safe, but not too safe that you give up the lane, but when he does come, be ready for it and make that outplay, save that scatter of the weak. I think that's what this is going to come down to right now, because if the University of New South Wales can survive this first 6 minutes, they're actually going to be in a pretty good spot. So this early game, super critical for the blue side.
Yeah, blue side, this is going to be really important to see how they handle it, because if they handle it well, like you said, they are in a very good position going into that early to mid-game transition. If they don't, we've seen what happens when USYD gets an advantage and they run away with it. In the last game these teams had together, there was an advantage. It got taken. Suddenly, the game's run over.
Yep.
So they have to be very careful not to let that happen again, and not get a sense of deja vu and let USYD just capitalize on 2 things and then run away with it.
Absolutely. I mean, USYD, obviously one of the best teams in this tournament at taking a lead and never letting it go. Arguably, University of New South Wales in that same boat, but we will have to see what happens as we have hit the rift. This is our grand final. It is a best of 5, so a lot of League of Legends to be played. Both these teams drafted very well, a lot of them drafting to their strengths. However, University of Sydney, their game plan is pretty straightforward. It's let's unlock this mid lane, let's roam, let's get that roaming and death squad. Xernos, he wins every lane, he'll be fine, and it's up to the University of New South Wales to answer.
Yeah, it's going to be up to UNSW to really try and, people down and do what they need to do. No surprise looking at runes. Mincam opted for the Conqueror Kayn. Obviously, Red Kayn is a much better pick in this team comp, so no surprise there. No Dark Harvest Kayn this one, so we're going to see a pretty conventional team from both sides.
Yeah, and what's interesting as well is USYD against UQ, they were already grouping S5, looking for those invades, trying to put that pressure on from the word go. This time around, the University of Sydney actually opted to establish that line of scrimmage, and we're seeing no cheeky invades. So Ubisoft already going for a more conservative start in this one than what we saw last week. And I'm a little bit surprised by that, but at the same time, not really. It is a best of 5. You have plenty of times to sort of hide any secret level 1 strats. You don't need to pull them off right at the start. So at the end of the day, we get a very basic beginning, no deep wards, no secret tracking. It's all going to be instinct in this one.
Yeah, and we're going to see a pretty conventional start from both of these junglers, of Ubisoft opting for the red to blue, and probably Grump to mid, but maybe for the gank, whereas Mincam has opted for a full bot side clear into the probably rotate to mid or straight up to the top side, as a very aggressive trades going on in the mid lane between Nice Choke and Zoot there.
Yeah, and again, that tells me that Zoot is trying to set up for that mid lane gank and try and get that early pressure down, as we were talking about before. That said, by taking that unfavorable trade back, I don't think Ubisoft is going to be rushing that level 3 gank anytime soon. Up in the top lane as well, Xernos on that Poppy just really punishing Ozo. And again, this is what I mentioned before. Xernos, you get something that in theory should be a losing matchup, he will find a way to win it. And that is going to put so much extra pressure on Mincam as well as the rest of the University of New South Wales side.
Yeah, and we see Mincam here. It looks like Mincam and Ubisoft are actually going to clash here at the Raptor pit.
This actually could be very, very bad right now for Mincam, as he is found out. A little bit of a jungle duel. The Raptors are working in Ubisoft, but the smite gives Mincam the health, and he will get that first blood. Dude's going to follow through and hopefully get one back for his team. No, Mincam gets him the wall and heals it back, and a great scatter of the week from Nice Joke ensures his survival. Great play from the blue side.
That is a great start for Mincam there. Getting the smite off to get the heal, denying Ubisoft the ability to do the same as the big creep died. So that's a great start if you're UNSW. Mincam getting a pretty much a solo kill against Ubisoft of all people, and looking at this top lane, exactly what you said earlier, Zoranis goes into these losing lanes and somehow seems to be in a position of winning them, but Kane is on the way.
And this is what New South Wales wanted, setting up Zoranis for a bad time. Flash is used to secure the kill at the University of New South Wales. I said before, they were going to have to come up with ways to outplay the University of Sydney and their strong early game, and they have done just that. 2 kills going over to New South Wales.
Yeah, and Mincam playing incredibly well, capitalizing on the advantages that, Ubisoft isn't on the map, and Zoranis was in a pretty unfortunate spot, so Kane has that strength, being able to gank from pretty well anywhere, so it looks like Ubisoft is actually going to be trying to come down for a bot gank here.
Yeah, I mean, the University of Sydney, and this is something that we noticed with their match against UQ as well. When they have a game plan, they will stick to it, even if the start doesn't go their way. So for the University of New South Wales, they can't start playing passive. They can't rest on their laurels. They still have to play this one smart. This early lead is huge for them. I mean, that kill onto Fiora kind of was what expected. It was really that first blood kill going to Mincam's way. I want to see how they start to play around that, if they're going to accelerate Mincam and start to get more aggressive, possibly in the mid lane, or maybe even try and contest some of these early dragons right now. You can tell New South Wales is putting priority on the dragon just by the fact that they're actually shoving in this bot lane right here. They want to get more of that river control, because right now all the wards and all the pressure is in favor of the red side. Yeah,
right now red side has pretty much all of that bot side control, whereas now they've just lost up to UNSW, so this gives UNSW time, a little bit of time to clear out the wards and reset a little bit. And I just like to point out the fact that, like you said earlier, that it was going to be really important for Ubisoft and Mincam, that dynamic and how they play, because Mincam on paper, the Kane isn't as strong early on as
making it work.
Yeah, as the J4, but he's got that early kill, so he's getting pretty close to, he's accelerating his form switch, as Ubisoft is actually on the dragon. So that should be a free Ocean Drake going towards Ubisoft, but he is getting very low.
Oh no, Smite's not available! Not like this, Ubisoft flag a dragon! The shot didn't go off. Okay, he's fine. You can see Forward racing down there, was going to try and drop the heal on him. That was spooky, and USYD, questionable decision-making right there, going for that dragon.
Yeah, this is one of those rare occasions where...
Oh, sorry to cut you off right now. A little bit of a skirmish happening down below. Batty, feeling very himself right now, was getting right in Thomas Shen's face, is going to use the Arcane Shift to escape. You can see the pressure, the attack buff was ready and raring to go, but no kill this time around. In fact, not even any summoners used.
Yeah, what I was trying to say was this is one of those rare... Okay, well, the rare occasion that USYD just seems out of it. Like, Ubisoft has played incredibly well the last 10 weeks of of this tournament, and he's just been making some questionable mistakes in this game already. So maybe he'll fix it up and he'll get himself in the vibe. But it looks like Mincam might be trying to go for a gank. But there is wards; they do know he's there, so.
Yeah, I mean, and also the ward from the University of New South Wales was able to spot out one Ubisoft as well. Not willing to risk that 3v3 despite sort of having that Clawfield Hammer and that little bit of an early gold advantage. University of New South Wales still content to play it safe. They don't want to force any fights that isn't necessary, especially with no dragon available. So it's going to be more farming for Mincam, still trying to race to hopefully get himself that Rost Kane, and then we'll start to see him have more impact on the map globally. As for now, though, the University of New South Wales in a very good position. They didn't let that early first 6 levels spiral out of control. Maybe we still might start seeing some forward roaming, as Thomas Shen, he's still very content to keep trying to push himself and really keep Batty and being abandoned on the back foot. But until we start to see forward get out of lane, this is a good game for the University of New South Wales.
Yeah, unless something changes pretty quickly, either in the top lane or the mid lane, UNSW is looking great right now. The pings are going into that mid, so Kane looking potentially for something, whereas Ubisoft is just content in taking his Raptors for the first time this game.
Yeah, he will be getting his Raptors because of the control ward as well. Zoot should be fully aware of where Mincam is, and Mincam's still going to be going into the jungle, looking for another cheeky invade. Will not spot Ubisoft, who will spot him. Doesn't matter though, Mincam still looking to possibly take this red buff, or nope, he'll go to Gromps first instead, the safer take. He does have some backup with Nice Joke roaming down, who was able to force Zoot back, so this topside jungle, for the first time in I think every single USYD game, is actually in control of the enemy team. The University of New South Wales, they're doing something that has not been done yet, and they might be able to carry this into the first loss for the USYD side.
Yeah, the caster curse might be coming down though, as Ozo is getting pretty low in that top lane.
Mincam's here though, and Mincam's no longer here because Xarnos was waiting with that hammer, and Ozo has nowhere safe to run. Flash for flash, a little bit premature from Xarnos. He'll still secure that kill, but Mincam has returned and is looking for a bit of retribution. The steadfast presence used a little bit too late. Nice sidestep though, keeps Xarnos alive, but only for so long, and Mincam will secure the return kill. New South Wales, they'll take.
Yeah, USYD capitalizing on the ganks in top lane, pick up that dragon finally after the early failed attempt. Really good by Zoranis there to actually manage to pick up the kill onto Ozo there, but again, that's another kill onto Mincam, and currently, if you're UNSW, you feel like you're in full control of everyone's jungle right now.
Yeah, that definitely does seem to be the case in this one, although something that is important is the fact that the Dragon did go to the USYD side, and one of the other things that USYD has been very, very good throughout this tournament is even when their opponents will take little bites out of them, they always get something in return, and that's something that you see from the best teams in League of Legends at all levels, and that's kind of been that X factor for this USYD side, is how a lot of times they've been able to get leads and sustain them, because they always take something. And now we have a bit of a dragon clock. It's going in USYD's favor, but very unusual to see USYD kind of more ahead on the bot side of the map and behind on the top side.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a weird situation for them as we actually have an engage potentially.
Yeah, that we do, and Vegan Bandit is not the target. Instead, they're cutting off the escape from Batty. The flag and drag doesn't get the knockup, but it might not matter because USYD is here in force, and Batty will fall. So USYD adapting to the game situation. They're putting more focus on the bot half of the map, and they do find a kill.
And that is encouraging that they actually are able to get that advantage in the bot lane. If Thomas Shen can, get scaling, get that damage down, that's a great sign for USYD. But, this is what we said pre-game, which was that, if... Ooh, Ozo's actually very low again.
Yeah, and again, if Xarnos can find the kill onto Ozo, this is starting to get a little bit concerning. Zoot is here as well. The parallel convergence gets the kill. You see Mincam dropping his ultimate to try and avoid the damage. Nice Joke has arrived, but it's too little too late to save his top lane teammate Xarnos. He's going to take all of that damage and walk away as Zoot is thinking, oh, nom nom nom. Kill number 2 for me, please. Backup enthusiast off his here. He'll flag and drag over the wall. Cataclysm comes down. Nice Joke cannot escape. And that is USYD turning this game right back around in their favor.
Wow, okay. Well, that happened. USYD, like we've said, they've played very well in this tournament from ahead, and I guess this is the first time we've seen them behind, but Zoranis playing incredibly well, managing to, stall out for so long. A very good parallel convergence coming out of Zoot there, and so I don't know how Zoranis was tanky enough to, tank that Nice Joke ulti, but Nice Joke tickled him, so...
The grasp of the Undying coming into play, and not to mention, I think, low-key, the star of that play was Xarnos sidestepping the parry out of Ozo in the middle of everything, having the wherewithal to do that. My goodness. There is a reason why he is the league MVP, in my eyes. Great play.
Yeah, he's played incredibly well, as we have a lane gank being set up by Mincam here, but maybe we'll have to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, will the trigger be pulled right now? Thomas Shen is on his own, and they would have just seen forward on those wards, and that means, floodgates are open. Here comes Midcam leading the charge. Magical Journey does get forward back to the safety of Thomas Shen, and it looks like this gank is not going to bear fruit this time around. Granted, Nice Joke is roaming down. Rift Herald has been dropped, so a lot of pressure on this tower. Forward's going to go ahead and get rid of the blasting code, but it might not matter because Midcamp's going in, gets the knock up on the forward. As Nice Joke's looking to follow up. True Shot Barrage into Scout of the Week only connects with forward, who will use Flash and Heal and stay alive. So many resources used and no catch to be had. Yes, tower platings go down, but now they got to be careful of a re-engage because Zoot is here and he is jumping in Midcam's face. Midcam will get over the wall to safety though and say that was unfortunate and unpleasant. Good sir, please go away. And Zoot complies and does walk out of this one. Tower is saved. USYD stays alive. Yeah, USYD stays alive, but it might not be over. It's looking like there's a fight going on in the jungle right now. Yeah, it looks like USYD was actually trying to pick off some recalls right there, and UNSW was able to find nice joke amidst it all. University of New South Wales thought they could blow everything and walk away safely. Well, Udi says, nah, not today, fam. Midcam, though, he wants a bit of revenge. He'll be getting into UNSW's face, gets the knockup, but has to back off for now because there is a Zoot sitting in mid lane, and nothing is stopping him from roaming down, and nothing's stopping forward as well as he is charging straight after Midcam. We might actually see a fight over this red buff right now, and I'm not sure New South Wales can win it.
Yeah, I think they just have to pull off. I think, oh, there's a potential tower dive here for Batty.
Oh my gosh, just how fast they redirect their targets. Good job making the tower go golden, but they don't lock down Batty, and that is the evasiveness of this New South Wales bot side. A shutdown kill goes to Vegan Bandit as Forward will be the next to go down. Looks to be secured by Midcam, and now Zoot is in a bad place at a very bad time. He's going to try and fight straight through the middle. Does get through Vegan Bandit right as Thomas Shen arrives to provide some backup fire, but Zoot is running the wrong way. Doesn't matter because those bullets do so much damage, and already Batty is gone. Here comes Midcam, though, as well as Nice Joke, who has rejoined the fight, gets the knockup, gets the kill onto Zoot, but Bullet Time is doing a lot of damage on the way out. Still not enough to deter Nice Joke, and that means Thomas Shen has to run away.
Yeah, Thomas Shen having to run away there. A very back and forth fight. Meanwhile, Zoranis in the top lane just pushing in that tier 1 top. That was a very extended and a very crazy fight for both teams, but from the scorecard, USYD's actually managed to come out ahead of that one as Dragon, Udisoft is on his way to Dragon as we speak, while Mincam is still on that top side.
What the craziest thing about all that fight is right now was the fact that throughout it all, Zarnos had teleport and opted not to use it, instead looking to establish that top lane control and keep that pressure there. And this is one of the tools that USYD kind of uses, which is, I suppose, relevant decision making in sense of even if bot lane goes our way, at least we'll still get pressure on the top half of the map. So it's actually not worth burning that teleport right here. We already have a winning one side. Best case scenario, we win both top and bot and we get this dragon, which actually is the final result. So good wherewithal, good forward thinking from Zoranos and from the USYD side to not use that teleport.
Yeah, really smart play by them. It also means that, next time a fight breaks out, they have the TP advantage on Zoranis, so they can TP in later, as he's picked up, he's got the Sunfire, Cape, the Tarbies, and the Cutling Blade. So he's in a very tanky position compared to, most members of the team. So overall, USYD is in a very good position. And this is, we spoke about USYD playing, currently they've been playing the best in this tournament. And I think this even just shows, again, in this first game that, yeah, they made a couple of mistakes, and also University of New South played incredibly well in that early game and managed to make some, capitalize on some very smart plays. But this also shows that USYD doesn't have to be ahead to do well. They've actually been able to play from behind incredibly well, so they're a very versatile team from what we've seen.
Let's get a little cosmic binding right there to stop the aggression from Midcam, however, and as a result of that, they're looking to get a Rift Herald as well. But they're going to have to pull off from now because the gates have been opened and the charge is on. Great play coming from forward right now to catch out New South Wales. Midcam's going to try to run away, but Ozo is the proper target. Zoot's going in so deep, does get thrown out by the Monsoon, but Bullet Time forces Vegan Bandit to cancel it early, and New South Wales has to run away on low health bars.
Yeah, and I think we're just going to see Zoranis here push that top lane in. They're going to pick up that Herald, drop it mid potentially. And if you're USYD, this is looking very good for you right now.
The thing about USYD too, which is interesting, going back to your point before, is this is the first time we really saw them from behind and having to make that bit of a comeback, but none of their games have ever been perfect. They do get scrappy at times, but it's their ability to recover from these scrappy fights and get advantages. As Nice Joke may think they have caught one forward, and that does happen to be the case, but Udisoft as well as Zornos are here. Cataclysm forces out the immediate flash from Midcam, but Zoot's cutting off the escape. The parallel conversions was a little off target, and with the Scatter of the Weak connecting, Zoot has to be very careful. He will back away from now, but USYD, they're not fighting with all 5 members. They're always having someone go for objectives. We just saw it in top when Udisoft secured that Herald, and we see it there as they continue to put pressure on this mid lane tower. They only use the resources they think are necessary for any given engagement, and they spend the rest of those resources establishing map and neutral objective pressure.
Yeah, they're really good at rotating, playing that macro very well. And like you said, Ozo should be, substantially further ahead than Zoranis, but Zoranis still somehow able to hold pressure in that top lane, keep pushing objectives. Meanwhile, other people are also doing that in the mid lane. I believe earlier Batty was doing that in the bot lane. He managed to take that tier 1 bot for the side of UNSW, and everyone's playing quite well right now. And it's a very interesting game to see. They still have that Herald available on the side of, USYD, but I wonder what we're going to see happening here is we've got, Dragon spawning in a minute 55. It's going to be interesting to see where these teams, put their focus.
I would have to think that it's getting to that stage of the game where University of New South Wales can't really afford to give away any more dragons, so they're going to try to contest it in some form. Either that being, map pressure elsewhere or actually looking for that fight. The fights haven't not necessarily gone entirely against them thus far, so they might be willing to go for that 5-on-5 engagement. However, you'd want, things to go almost perfectly for them if they're going to hope to take it. It is a Cloud Drake, so it's not like we're on the door of Infernal Soul, but I don't know. I feel like if USYD are able to get on that Soul Dragon point, it's really going to put New South Wales in sort of a tight binding, so they need to do something to sort of delay that take. At the moment, however, they're just getting shoved in all three lanes.
Yeah, it's not looking good in all three lanes as they're engaged on Zoranus there, but Zoranus with the Hammer of Justice smacking them back as he's still getting engaged on by 3 members.
Yeah, it's another Zarnos 1v3 situation. How long will he survive? This does get the stun onto mid-camp, drops himself a little bit of a shield, is ignited for his trouble, still alive somehow. Finally, mid-camp will cut him down, but whilst that time was given, more pressure was put on the bot lane. As you can see, one Shelly was dropped down there, and they will get a tower for the top laner, a trade. USYD will be happy.
Oh, and they didn't manage to hit the back of the eye of Shelly, so another smash comes out of Shelly there, taking down that inhib tower. That is tragic for UNSW. USYD looking very dominant as they could be trying to get a jump off on joke here.
University of New South Wales was trying to cut off the escapes, as you can see just above. It didn't look like they were too successful in doing it. However, Thomas Shen did have to burn here. Parallel Convergence did not connect with anyone, but a great play from forward does ensure this fight will go down. Zoot able to find the Vegan Bandit as the attention is turned back down towards Batty, and nice joke. Ultimate's thrown on to Unisoft, who has to burn Flash to get over the wall. However, Zoot is here, and that was all of Nice Joke's abilities. No cooldowns available, but he dodges the Cosmic Binding. It will only buy a little bit of time. Eventually, Forward actually is the one who secures that kill, so a good turnaround for the USYD side. They get the tower, they get a couple kills, and now they're taking the Dragon as well.
Yeah, now they're going to get Dragon. This time around, Udusoft actually has Smite and a team backing him up, so not going to die to Dragon like he almost did on that first clear. And meanwhile, back in the top lane, Zoranus is just, catching lanes, pushing it back out. He's 140 CS. He's just pushing that out, getting those items. He's going for a Death's Dance next because he's in so many fights that he's just trying to stall out as much as he can. So yeah, you can drop 3 on me, but it's going to take you a long time to kill me.
Yeah, that will be his plan. I do have to agree in this stage because, he's been that weak side top laner. We've seen it time and time again. New South Wales throwing 2 people, throwing 3 people at him. As Sydney is just like, okay, well, as long as Zornos stays alive for as long as possible, we're going to get something in return. That has been sort of how the past 5 or 6 minutes of this game has gone, and as a result, we're seeing USYD slowly pulling ahead in terms of gold lead. However, Forward might have bitten off a bit more than he could do. That was not the journey he wanted. That was not a journey, nor was it magical. It's just a bad time for Forward as he is caught out and brought down.
And it's actually been quite unfortunate for Forward because he's been caught out a couple of times recently. Earlier in that engage earlier, he managed to get caught out by Nice Joke for the same reason, I believe. The magical journey wasn't placed correctly, and he sort of got caught out and just deleted by Nice Joke. So unfortunate misplays currently being displayed by Forward. So hopefully he can clean things up a little bit as this game progresses.
Yeah, it's just a bad time when you magical journey on place. There's a great little gank from both sides happening down. Batty is going to have to burn Flash and Arcane Shift to get out of the Cataclysm mid-cam. However, looking to turn things around, Zeus in a fair bit of trouble is going to go ahead and drop the Chrono Break to get out. But Thomas Shen, Misfortune should not be in the front line. She will immediately get brought down, but with a parallel convergence, Zoot finds one back. The next target is Udisoft. Mid-cam is there, and Nice Joke's also there to secure the kill. Zoot, the next target, is going to be brought down by Mid-cam, who's on a little bit of a shutdown spree at the moment. Won't be able to find Forward as he gets behind the tower, but 3 dead on the Sydney side does mean New South Wales is back in this, and they want the tower. They might even want the dive as well. Forward is going to have to play this one very, very carefully. Won't be able to save the tower, but does save his life.
Yeah, that was a questionable play by Shen, unfortunately. Thomas Shen pushing up a little too far, a little too eager. I think maybe, trying to get the bullet time off to take down Mincam or Nice Joke, but wasn't meant to be. And, unfortunate misplay for them as they get punished for that and lose a mid tower.
This is the match we were expecting to see when we saw these two teams play last time. Again, University of Sydney did win the matchup during the season quite convincingly. However, New South Wales, this looks like a completely different team than that matchup before. They are fighting, they are getting objectives, they are pushing their advantages. Midcam was the one who I highlighted during the season as he might be that X factor for New South Wales, and unfortunately in their first matchup, he didn't really show up. Not the case today. This Kane, a part of 11 of the 12 kills, 5 of them taken himself. He has been such a dominating force right now for this New South Wales side, and a lot of it has come from that extra mobility that Kane provides. He's been able to make it to these fights at those key moments and turn them around, and this is something that USYD moving forward is probably going to have to be a bit more prepared for.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. Mincam has played incredibly well, has been massively impactful on this map, and I think that going into game 2, no matter who wins or loses, I think USYD's gonna, I think we're gonna see that Kane banned away, because so far it has been oppressive for the side of UNSW.
It has been oppressive, but so has the University of Sydney's lanes, especially their solo laners. They really have been doing a good job in sort of keeping both top and bot constantly pushed in, so that even when the University of New South Wales does take a good fight in the mid lane, they aren't really to get many objectives for it. And until New South Wales is able to get those side lanes back under control, even when they win those skirmishes, they're not really going to be finding themselves getting back ahead unless they can turn it into a major neutral objective. Baron would be a key one right now as that is up, as well as denying that Dragon Soul from USYD. But it could be another catch on the forward. You can see Thomas Shen's trying to make it rain, but drizzles don't stop anything in this instance as the forward will come down, and you can see University of New South Wales, they're starting to converge around that dragon. They think this next Cloud Drake will probably be there.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the side of USYD, when it rains, it pours, and forward getting caught out again, in an unfortunate position, and that's just showing the strength of the Kane is just absolutely wiping him off the face of the planet before they can really do anything. And a very good positioning, as he'd been waiting in that bush for a good 15-20 seconds as the chrono break actually comes out of Zoot in the top lane. Oh no.
Oh, this could be another mid-cam catch-out. Ubisoft will be the target. Mid-cam right in his face. Thomas Shen trying to slow down the backline with the rain, but it's not going to stop the tornado. Ubisoft has to burn Flash out of his own Cataclysm, but that leaves Thomas Shen on his own. Zornos teleports in, but cannot make the save. Zoot on the backside is able to find one kill. Now Vegan Bandit is running for Janna's life as Zornos is going to try and knock people away. Does do so successfully as Nice Joke is going to try to race to rejoin the fight, but will he get there in time to say Ozo? The answer is yes, because USYD does back off.
Yeah, and both teams right now without jungler, with the potential Cloud Soul available, I think USYD's going to start roaming down to there, start putting pressure on it, as their jungler's going to be up first, and I think they're going to try and force a fight and get this Cloud Drake, as actually doesn't engage.
Oh, this pick would be huge if USYD can pull it off. The magical journey, though, is actually going to be used for Zornos to escape, but he gets a cheeky little knock-up on his way out. Cloud Drake, not very happy people are invading his home, is going to take a couple pot shots, and USYD, well, you know what? You want a little pot shot? Well, we want to take your life, and they're turning right back around on this dragon at this stage. As Nice Joke and Vegan Bandit are going to try and come down from the river. The dragon has been started. This is a Dragon Soul play, but Zoot is getting that flank. No! Too early forward. Zoot was going to be able to get that kill, but that's okay because the cavalry has arrived, and USYD are looking for the fight. Zoot can't go too deep because the rest of New South Wales is here, and Batty is throwing out that damage right back. It's Ozo who gets the kill, but it comes at the cost of the Dragon Soul. USYD get their objective, and now they're trying to escape. Zornos going to try to play defense at the end of that magical journey, and here comes a big bullet time. It helps secure the kill on Vegan Bandit, and Zornos keeps Batty out of the fight. Up on the other side, however, Midcam, he doesn't care about poppies. He's still going to dive. He's going to get in forward space, so the Cataclysm must be dropped, and it is used to buy time forward on so little health that had to be single digits. He'll walk away. 2 members survive. However, the Dragon Soul is also in USYD's grasp.
Yeah, Dragon Soul gets picked up there by USYD, and yes, like we mentioned, it's not it's not an Infernal Drake, but that Cloud Soul getting picked up is massive. What that means now is that you're going to have the Elder Drake getting picked up. Unfortunate, again, forward made an unfortunate misplay. That was a free kill onto Nice Joke. Zoot had already, pretty much confirmed that kill, but the forward ulti there from Bard managing to actually save Nice Joke and really put them in a bad spot as this fight continued.
Yeah, and as the fight continued, great job by Zornos, just trying to do everything he can to zone out that backline, and he did keep Batty out of the fight. However, Nice Joke, by rotating around the blue buff, was able to get that extra damage needed to help take down Thomas Shen. How Forward survived this, I have no idea. Batty, by the time he's able to Arcane Shift in, it was already too little too late. But Forward, he has been an escape master at times, and at other times, he's walked straight to his death. So a very inconsistent game from this part.
Yeah, been a very unfortunate and inconsistent game from Forward there. He's made a fair few mistakes in this game, and he might be getting caught out again here.
Oh yeah, this is not where he wants to be. He's just trying to buy some time for Zoot to show up, and he may have done just that. Back down at the bot lane as well. More fun times for one Thomas. Oh no. Zoot got found, and he will be brought down. New South Wales gets a big pick, as Zoot has kind of been that major damage dealer for this Sydney side. The mid tower is thoroughly going to fall, and this is University of New South Wales knocking on Sydney's door, trying to give them their first loss of this entire tournament.
Yeah, and this is really big. Like you mentioned, Zoot is actually being that ball nose runners. Oh, the stun though.
Play, and Ubisoft from out of nowhere with the Cataclysm helps try to turn things around. Midcam will fall thanks to some assist play out of the tower. Where did Ubisoft come from? Meanwhile, Tempered Fate actually catches Batty of all people, but the Cosmic Binding is not there. Nice joke, looking for a big Scatter of the Week to try and stun the rest of the team out, but Sydney is not willing to push their advantages, so they will stay back for now. At the end of the day, it's a 1-for-1, but that mid tower did fall.
Yeah, 1-for-1 mid tower falling, and Zoot, getting caught out there, unfortunately for them. Blue side has the Baron warded. They've got, the vision, whereas USYD really has to get some control back of this mid-top and get that Baron control, as that's going to be big for either team, because like we've seen just there, UNSW is in a very good position, and so is USYD, so either team getting that Baron could be massive.
Yeah, this Baron is going to be a real decision-making power play, I should say. I mean, decision-making probably not the right word. It's just going to be something that's going to shift the balance of this game, I feel. And you can see teleports being used. New South Wales want no part of the Sydney side getting it. Forward again was caught out on the backside of everything, so another 4v5 situation for Sydney, although Ozo might have gone in a little too deep. Flag and Drag is parried, and Ozo's going to try and turn that damage around. He's going to go ahead and drop that Grand Challenge. Cataclysm into the stun from Zoronos will pick a 1-for-1 across the map. Top laner for support. Sydney's going to like that, and they might rush straight back to Baron.
And that's really, really good for USYD there, as Ozo used that teleport to try and get into that fight and manages to get taken down. Yes, Mincam is there getting vision onto that Baron, but right now they're a man down, and USYD is in a pretty decent position if they can get onto this Baron, but I think they're just going to go for the reset and maybe try stall out for that Dragon Soul in the even.
Yeah, I mean, it will be the Elder Dragon next. They do have themselves the Dragon Soul right now, so definitely sitting pretty, the University of Sydney, but they have yet to really get that game-breaking fight. Really, neither team has been able to break this game open yet. It has been so back and forth, so even, where I feel Baron might be, again, that X factor that gives one of these teams that massive edge, either the Baron or the Elder Dragon, should it spawn before Baron is taken. And if we get a situation where both Baron and Elder are on the map, I'm really curious to see which team goes for what objective and how they play around that, because both of those could be a death sentence.
Yeah, both of those could be detrimental. If one side gets the Baron and that siege is too strong, that could be major. But, if USYD manages to get that Elder Drake, that could be equally as bad for UNSW. So I think it's going to be a big thing to see as Mincam potentially catching.
Oh, Mincam is just going to get caught out in no man's land. Not a happy Mincam today, although Thomas Shed doesn't have the damage to bring him down right away, and a great knockup from the Vegan Bandit does open the doors for New South Wales to join this fight, at least until Zoot is able to get the flank. Bullet time straight down the middle. It's not going to connect with anyone, but the Cataclysm does. Vegan Bandit is going to be held for a little bit, but in the end, it will be the double kill going over to Zoot, as well as that mid tower. So University of Sydney may have found that fight to break this game.
Yeah, and that's what they were looking for. They really needed to get some kind of big fight to give them that advantage. And now they have the luxury of being able to go and take that Baron without much contention. Unfortunately, Mincam getting caught out there, as I believe it was Forward's Cosmic Binding actually getting them the kill there, as Red Team secures the Baron buff, and I'm sure they're going to make their way straight down to that Elder Dragon.
I thought for a second their Forward accidentally saved the day and kept, Batty alive a little bit later. Sorry, Mincam alive a little bit later in that one, but that was actually so well placed, the ultimate out of the bar, that he only collected the tower, and that helped secure the kill. So such an up and down game for Forward. Sometimes he's doing amazing things, other times he's just getting caught out and magically journeying into himself. So definitely an interesting one for Forward. I like how he's been able to sort of recoup and start making, again, some of these plays we know him for. However, this Dragon Dance is a very, very key one.
Yeah, no, this is going to be key because I don't think either team wants to start it until they get some kind of advantage. And it looks like USYD might be actually trying to push that advantage a little harder than UNSW right now. As they actually have Thomas Shen pushing in that mid lane just to try to get some control over that.
Exactly. I mean, you have Baron available. Why not try and establish some more of that lane pressure right now? But instead, Ozo is actually feeling safe enough to go to the bot lane and get that pushing in their favor against the team with the Dragon control and with the Baron buffs. The University of New South Wales are doing a very good job to try and slow down Sydney as much as possible. However, Ozo may have pushed too deep. Cataclysm will come down, although Ozo will escape for now. On the other side, Zornos able to jump onto mid cam, but he's a little bit too far away from the rest of the team to really break out in that 5v5 fight that Sydney definitely feels they want. Tempered Fate not really going to connect with anyone. However, Zornos is able to jump onto Ozo, and here comes the Sydney side bullet time straight through the middle, absolutely obliterates this Fiora as Zoot leads the charge and gets himself a Vegan Bandit. On the backside, Midcam was holding the rest of Sydney back, but he can only do so for so long as Ubisoft finds yet another kill, 3 for the side of Sydney.
They can either, they're just going to go straight for the Elder Drake here and pretty much just siege it down mid. Zoran is just going straight down that mid lane, not even needed onto that. Going to take those Raptors, push that mid in as they pick up the Elder Drake. So they are in an incredibly good spot right now. A really good team fight from the side of USYD. A big bullet time cleaning up the backline of UNSW as this is going to be a pickup for the side of USYD.
I've been waiting to hand out my Misfortune license to Thomas Shen the entirety of this tournament, and while it's not necessarily going to be handed over just yet, I'm in the process of printing and laminating it now. Whether or not I cut it in half by the end of the stream, time is yet to tell, but with that bullet time, I'm starting to think, you know, we're bringing back that old joke from the start of the split. It's grand final day. We have to do throwbacks aplenty, and Thomas Shen may have just earned that license today.
Yeah, he might have just earned it. As bad, he needs to be very careful he doesn't get caught out there by Zoot. The potential for the one shot coming out is very much there. And you know what? Yeah, Thomas Shen, I think you've earned it. You know, he's played very well on that character. And in a technically a bad matchup, I believe the Ezreal is actually not a great matchup for the Misfortune in the late game, you know, being able to dodge out of the, you know, the bullet time, etc., etc. But we actually have the team pretty much doing like a 4-0-1 against UNSW, so they are in a rough spot right now.
The Baron buff has worn off, however, you know, you have that Elder Dragon instead. So I think Sydney's still feeling very confident should they break out into a fight, and with Zoot with teleport on that bot lane, establishing that side lane pressure as well, something they've done throughout the entirety of this game, it's really limiting New South Wales in what they can do, and they're going to try and turtle, they're going to try and wait this one out, but it's looking very, very bad for this blue side.
Yeah, if you're blue side, it is not looking great. As you're just burning through ulti after ulti, trying to get anything, as they might be just trying to collapse onto Zoranis here, but can't even catch him out, so they're just pushing in that bot lane. Zoot's just sieging.
I mean, look, with Zornos in that top lane, right? We tried with 2 people, well, it didn't really work. We tried with 3 people, it was a little bit more successful. Maybe 4 people would have been the answer, although they do the smart thing. They do the smart thing in this one, and they don't commit 4 people up there. However, the rest of Sydney, they are still going to start pushing straight down the middle. They have so much zoning just from the threat of that Elder Dragon that New South Wales, they might be giving away this inhibitor. Vegan Bandit is trying to step forward, trying to do something, but he's dropping slows on the Zoronos, and that means Zoot is going to come straight down the middle. It's a good little knockup from Midcam, but Zoot has already found the backline, and the bullet time hotbox combo is super effective in taking down Nice Joke. Zoronos on the bot half of the map right now is chasing Battery as Ozo all the way into the fountain. Zoot still wants to get kills on the other side. Thomas Shen found himself a nice little double kill, and with 2 members standing, Sydney may have just taken game 1.
Yeah, that's going to be game 1 going to USYD. A very, very good game for the side of USYD, pulling back what looked like a bad start into a very good game for them. 37 minutes, a pretty long one for USYD and UNSW, but